and he may have enticed, he may have, contributed and sort of, he saw that she was ambitious and that she was, thinking this way, and he probably just kind of poured some fuel on the fire and fanned the flames a bit. But she got $3 million.
See, here's
$3 back then was a lot of money.
No, that wasn't back then. That was this.
Sex with somebody.
That wasn't.
You go to
back then. Hold on.
Call girls up there.
Hold on.
None of them ever made $3 million.
Well, hold on. $3 million is what she only received in 2022. That's not a lot of money in 2022. Here's the thing.
Oh, it's probably more than she ever made.
Well, first of all, here's the thing.
Swinging on the pole.
First of all, here's the thing. I'm not even worried about all that. Here's the thing that my point is. I want to know her bringing this human trafficking. I want to know what human trafficking it is. This is what I want to know. I want to know if Vince was taking all these women that he's had, ones that never made it in the world of wrestling, ones that were models, ones that, could not get in the ring. The ones that couldn't wrestle Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch if they even had a chance, that never had a chance to get in the ring with real women wrestlers. I want to know if this human trafficking means he's human trafficking. He did it around the world for employees around the world with all the people that he has dealt with, Saudi Arabia and everything like that. I want to dive deeper into that. That's what I want to dive deeper into.
Would go more towards, I think it sounds more like sexual harassment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, women have been sleeping with wealthy, powerful men for position and to get something that they want. Women have been using their bodies to get what they want.
I know, but the point...
Man, if he's got all the money and everything, he probably, and he knows that, he's not dumb, so he, says, oh, okay, I'm just going to make her think.
But here's my point.
Tell her a bunch of lies. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but here's my...
I'll make you a star.
But here's...
He gets what he wants, and then if she calls, I'm not here.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my point. I don't really care about all the drama, the soap opera BS and everything. What I want to know is why this lawyer is bringing up human trafficking. I want to know if Vince has been human trafficking women around the world. I want to know. I want to dive deeper into that. Because
I think it's just a play off of the Epstein case is big in the media right now.
Yeah.
She's mad. She didn't get what she wanted.
She didn't get more than $3 million.
She's greedy. The lawyer says, $3 million, and maybe we can get some more. The Epstein thing's going on right now. How can it be human trafficking
that's the question.
Kidnapping women and selling them?
So that's the question I'm trying to get out there is I want to know more about this saying if there's human trafficking, if he's behind some things, because Vince can go around the world with the WWE. Has he been doing this secretly as something else, him and people on his staff, were they a part of this kind of situation? And this is what I'm saying. I'm a big WWE guy. I've been a WWE fan forever. Okay. I was a WCW guy when I was alive, but I'm a big wrestling fan. The main thing is, if I find out that Vince went beyond, I didn't have any respect for him cheating on his wife and paying these women off. I'm glad he stepped down from his position and was able to sell the company so the company could continue to move forward and everything, because none of the people working there deserved to lose their jobs for what their boss did. Okay, I was proud of that. I have no respect for Vince on that. I want to find out before I judge him if Vince is doing this kind of thing. If he is, hey, I'm not judging him. I'm just not going to respect him. You're just not. My whole point of this story is, and we're about to take a break because we got to head into headline news. My whole point is, I want people to know out there, the person that you really like the most, whether they're an actor or a politician on the left, on the right, or whatever, and all the people that's causing all this trouble with people like us that are trying to do radio shows and everything, causing all kind of trouble out here because they living in their mom's basement, coming up with lies and causing the media to look bad. I want you to think about it. If I can sit here and say that I'm not going to support Vince McMahon on anything he's done after I'm a big fan of his, that just shows you that right is right and wrong is wrong. We're going to take a break. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. You're tuned in to RyanORadio Penitentiary.
You didn't let me answer the question.
Well, we got to go to a news break. It's top of the hour. You can answer it after the top of the hour.
All right.
And what question did I ask? I forget.
What if it was human trafficking?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, keep that in mind. Let me write that down in case I forget. I mean, I don't know if it is or isn't, and I'm not going to.
It sounds like blackmail to me.
It does kind of sound like blackmail to me too, but I want to find out if because he has been to all these countries, and
they go to all these rock bands and stuff. They travel all around the world too.
Yeah, but they don't even have half the money Vince McMahon
been
has.
all around the world. Maybe they've done a little bit of this human trafficking stuff.
I don't think that half these rock bands and country bands.
In some countries, prostitution is legal. You can put a 12-year-old girl out there, and it's perfectly legal.
Well, yeah, but that's why idiots. You're right. And idiots go and do that and everything. But the point is, I want to make sure that he's not doing something, and it's just him being a bad person that used the money out of his company to pay these people off, because that is wrong in itself, or illegal in itself, and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'm not supporting Vince on this, no matter, even if he's not a human trafficker, even if he's not, or if he is, I'm not supporting him on this, because my point is, I'm not going to support anybody that's doing wrong, no matter what. And you can forgive people.
But just because somebody accuses him of it and you read about it on the internet.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, I'm not reading it on the internet. I'm getting this from news. I'm getting this from real news sources. I'm not getting this from clickbait. I'm not sitting in my mom's basement.
News sources, okay? If I was running one of those routers or what do you call it, APP or whatever it is, I would report this is being said.
Yeah, that's what it said is being said. None of this is this is what this woman's accusing him of and others of, not what it is. That's what they said it was accused of.
I don't understand. She signed a non-disclosure agreement. Why didn't she just shut up and go away? That's what the $3 million was for.
Because she's, like you said, she's probably already spent the $3 million up. When you live in Manhattan.
She probably blew it. I'd be trying to find out if she's on cocaine or something.
Well, no. She could be, first of all, she could be a privileged person. These privileged people that have all these semi-money. I'm telling you, Jim, this is coming from people that work for Vince McMahon. It's expensive to live in New York, Manhattan, Connecticut. She got $3 million. $3 million, if she'd have just went and took that $3 million and moved to Ohio, Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia or something, she'd still have it. But well, I'm just saying that she could have moved anywhere and she would still have it. The problem is, handed her $3 million and her still wanting to stay where she was at, it costs too much money to live there. And the
thing about it is when he offered her $3 million, if it wasn't enough, she should have said then it wasn't enough.
Yep, she should have.
She could have said, no, I need 5 or 10 million, 10 million, something like that. I mean,
yeah. But you gotta, but the
time you want to come out and say,
but
try to get some more money out of them.
But we don't. Here's the thing: we're guesstimating on that. What if she didn't want that? What if Vince says, I can only write you a $3 million check out of the WWE account, because if I write $10 million, they're going to question it. See.
Well, it depends on if they were trying to charge him with a crime, or if were they going through mediators? Like, just was they going through court, or did they just go through a mediation process?
No, he paid her behind the scenes. She brought her to the office. He, just like he did 5 or 6 other women, and he paid them between $3 million to $4 million, $5 million apiece, and to keep their mouths shut about their secret relationship with him. And he took it right out of the.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, why did he pay them all that money? Why didn't he just let them tell it?
Because.
I mean, look in here. If I didn't slept with that many women, you know his wife had to know.
Well, he and his wife are not together anyway.
Maybe one he could probably hide. But if he's sleeping with that many women, him and his wife have some kind of understanding.
No, look, no, him and Linda.
Why would he not want them to know? People to know he slept with other women.
Well, here's the thing. No, because he didn't want to embarrass the company, because he hired these people. It could got sexual assault. These people work for him. That's the thing about it.
Sleeping with women that work for him?
These are all women that work for him. In the office, there was a few female wrestlers that no longer work for the company that he did that with. But most of these women that he paid off like that were in his office in Connecticut.
I don't understand. Yeah, but I don't understand. Okay, when they were at work, they were at work.
Can I?
Walked out, went home.
Well, can I explain?
Personal time.
Can I? No.
Was he doing them in the office?
Yes, they were doing. Vince McMahon never leaves that office.
Does he have a bed and everything?
Yep. In his office, he's got a little apartment in there. Yes.
Because I went to a car dealership one time that had a little bedroom on the inside of it.
He's got an apartment. He stays there 24/7 because back in the day when he was actually working hard to build this company up, that's where he stayed most of the time. He and his wife really have never been together since the 1990s. Everybody acts like, she ran for Senate or whatever. They just kind of kept their marriage as a public image, the way those soap opera people.
His job was more important than her.
No, it wasn't about his job being more important to her. She was running around too. She was working with him too, and then she decided she wanted to be a senator. It wasn't nothing about the job.
Working with him.
Anybody?
Found out he was sleeping with all them folks, and she just said, "Let's make a deal. We're not getting divorced, but because I'm getting half, I'm getting everything."
No, she's a partner. She's a partner. No matter what, she's a partner. Her, Stephanie, and Shane got a lot of money when Vince sold this a majority of this company to TKO. They got a lot of money off of it.
Well, the thing about it is, if he made all these deals behind the scenes with these women.
Well, we're about to go back on, so hold on. And I'll explain some more of it so that it doesn't sound like.
All right, but where we left off with, is it
human trafficking. All right, hold on. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. It's the final second period of play. We'll go into the Royal Rumble next hour. I've got some Royal Rumble news for you. Atlanta Falcons news, a new head coach. All that's coming up. Also this hour, we're talking about Ahmaud Arbery's killers getting himself a March court date to argue appeals on their hate crime. And we'll continue talking about the crime and passion of Vince McMahon straight up next. You're in lockdown with RyanORadio, Penitentiary, and yours truly, Ryan O'Neal, of course. Yes, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, shout out loud across the RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock, Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles and Real Radio. Now, when I'm not in my mom's basement. This is Real Radio, WQEE 99.1 FM, the key home of Southern sports and inspirational talk. That's right. We are part of the network that is bringing you the best in sports talk and more. And if you're not a part of this, where are you? What you doing? Hey, I don't know. I'm here with you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And I'm getting ready for our second period of play. We're starting to get into it. Got some things to talk about, and I appreciate all of you tuning in and staying with us this morning. A little 11 minutes past the hour. It's 63 degrees. And to my haters, I got this to say. That's right, I am the man around here, whether they like it or not. Active Pest Control bringing you a look at that time and temperature. All right, we got to get back into some more headline news. I'll give you a rundown of some of the headlines here in just a few moments. Hold on as we get right back to it. All right, let me do a little headline news, and then we'll get back to our discussion we were having on the life and times and crimes of Vince McMahon. All right, let's take a look at this news story today. Give me some news music there, Mr. Newsman. That's right. It's a little bit of headline news for you. Overdose suspected after an adult film star dies at age 43. UN, 12 Palestinians killed, 75 injured in a horrifying attack on a training center in Gaza. The GOP proposes a block for federal governments from removing border fencing. The former president testifies in the E. Jean Carroll defraud case. And an Alabama man is executed with nitric with gas. We'll talk about that. The first one ever over there, Keith Smith. Plus, Mr. Aubrey's killers get a March court date to argue their appeal of their hate crimes. These are all the headlines this morning on WQEE The Key. And you can share them see them on our WQEE Key Facebook page. For some reason, they'll let me go. All right, we got Andrew Polanis with us this morning, and we were discussing the life and crimes, you get it, the life and crimes of Vince McMahon. And we're going to get back to the question in just a moment, but I want to give a short synopsis for those of you that's jumping into this with us this morning. Vince McMahon sold WWE, a portion of the WWE, to TKO Company, which also owns UFC, about a year ago, because there was a lot of stuff going on with Vince behind the scenes. Vince was using money from the WWE account to pay off women that he was having, I guess, affairs with, or so forth and so on. One woman that he paid $3 million out to is now accusing him of human trafficking. And her lawyers brought this up to human trafficking after she come up and signed an NDA. Of course, Vince is getting all these women to sign NDAs. For those who know, Vince McMahon has an apartment there in his office in Connecticut. He and his wife have always kind of had an understanding. Good morning, Morgan. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Kind of had an understanding, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll just leave it at that. The question that we're talking about is it human trafficking? Andrew?
That's a serious crime.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say no.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I would have to go read what exactly. I'd have to do a little research and find out what exactly it is she's claiming he did that, matches the definition of human trafficking. But if it's just sleeping with some women he works with, no, that's not human trafficking.
Well, he was their boss, so.
Well, I mean, just think about it. That's a crime. If he were doing something like that, the FBI and everybody would be investigating.
Well, the thing about it is he did get investigated by the federal government. That's why he ended up having to sell a majority portion of this company to the TKO company, to Endeavor, because it would have made a big impact on the company, and a lot of people, office people are out, and a lot of lower level office people would have lost their jobs, and the WWE would have been in trouble. So yeah.
So the federal government started all this with him?
He's been under, about a year ago, the federal government was investigating
about
into.
A year ago.
No, about 2 years ago.
He was a big supporter of Donald Trump, wasn't he?
No, not really. He's friends with him, but he don't support anybody. He don't get into all that. So it had Vince.
His wife worked for Donald Trump.
No, she didn't. She had her own thing going on. She was on some committee, but she didn't work for him. This happened a couple of years ago.
He appointed her to a position.
This ain't got anything to do with Trump.
Well, I know that, but what I'm trying, and I hate bringing that name up because I'm so sick of hearing Donald Trump's name, but this could have been the Democratic way of preventing Vince from funding Donald Trump's ability to rerun.
No. Let's don't get into conspiracy nut theories.
No, I mean, human trafficking is sort of like kidnapping girls, drugging them, and forcing them into prostitution.
Okay, that's exactly right. But I've got some details now coming out from the people that endeavor and everything. So a spokesperson for Vince McMahon said this. Now, of course, I'm going to put this out here because Vince is going to say this is a lie, and I'm not defending him, and I'm not for him or against him. I am just saying what the news story is put out. A spokesperson for Vince McMahon issued a following statement to the allegations that were out yesterday. The lawsuit is with lies made up and that had never occurred and a distortion of the truth, and he defends himself. So we want to put that out there so that everything is known, because we want to give both sides. We don't pick a side here. We don't go the Democrats or the Democrats are going after people, or the reptile Republicans are going after people. I don't get into imaginary conspiracy theories.
This is not a court case where you've got like a record of what's been said, who said it, and all that. Then it's just a he said, she said kind of thing.
I try to stream every day more than this.
One side making accusations and another side denying it.
But here's the thing. Here's what I want to talk about. Like I said, I want to know about the human trafficking thing. If it becomes that it's real, I want to know. These people go around the world. There's things that are legal. Vince is not on that list, of course. Thank God he's not on that list. And I just don't think Vince would be the type of person that would be on that Epstein's list. But I do know that Vince, this came out, and it didn't come out because of some Democratic Republican nominated thing. It came out because TKO Endeavor wanted to buy the WWE. The WWE's been up for sale for the past 5 years. Okay. Saudi Arabia wanted to buy it. Endeavor wanted to buy it. The people that own ESPN wanted to buy it. The people that own Warner Brothers wanted to buy it. They all wanted to buy the WWE. Well, TKO, who's the company that was developed out of Endeavor has a large partnership in UFC, which kept the guy that started UFC as the president as well. What they did with Vince McMahon, that kind of kept him and his people in charge of the wrestling side of things. Now The Rock is on the board at TKO as well. So there's a lot of people that's a part of this to keep WWE going. And he was planning on selling this anyway because Vince had no plans on keeping the WWE because he's in his 70s. He was about ready to retire. Okay. It had nothing to do with who he supports or who he don't support. It has to do with he was ready to retire. But the allegations came out about the time because I guess TKO wanted to pay a little bit less for the company. But Vince, the federal government came in, investigated Vince McMahon and the WWE. And at the time, Vince, all these checks that were being wrote to women, including this $3 million check to this Miss Grant, was wrote out of the account of the WWE. They said that if he had wrote all these out of his personal account, there would have been nothing that anybody could have done.
So he wrote the checks out of the company's account,
right?
And they can't do anything about it.
Well, they can do something about him writing out of the company's account. Now, if he'd have wrote it out of his personal account, they'd have said, well, I mean, the woman could have said, hey, he paid me for this, but what would have happened? It would have been a civil lawsuit or something, and nobody would have believed it, whatever. But he had them sign an NDA because they worked for the company. They paid them out of the company's account and all of that. So TKO Group Holdings issued a statement to Courthouse News Service on the allegations made by Janelle Grant in her lawsuit against Vince McMahon. Mr. McMahon does not control TKO, nor does he oversee the day-to-day operations of the WWE. While this matter predates our TKO executive team's tender at the company, we take Ms. Grant's horrifying allegations very seriously and are addressing this matter internally. So that's the company that's addressing the matter. So the reality of this is, so no matter what's going on, no matter what is going on, Vince should have not paid out of the company's account. Because it tracked back to who he wrote that check to. And then they want to find out, well, why'd you write this check to Janelle Grant? She was a former employee. Was it you fired her or she got let go? Was this that type of thing? But no, they didn't do that. So.
Is Janelle Grant the one accusing him?
Yes, I'm just bringing her name up because she's the one that's accusing him of the human trafficking and around the office. Now, majority of the people that are part of that office at that time, Andra, they are no longer with the company.
Well, if they're going to handle it internally, we'll probably never know. That means they'll probably just get some mediators and they'll mediate a deal, and it'll all be, everybody will sign the NDAs, and, okay, that means you can't talk about it. So we'll probably never know.
Well, I mean, this is coming out. Somebody's got to investigate. My only question is, and it will always be my only question, I want to know if there was any human trafficking going on when Vince owned the WWE, and the people that were a part of that, were they doing this with people that they were hiring around the world as they were going to Mexico and Canada and different places? I want to know, because the thing about it is, I'm not surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not surprised that this man had this many women because of the way.
So are you wanting to know if he took females out of the United States and sold them in other countries?
That's what I want to know. I want to know if he sold people. She's saying this, and this is a harsh thing because nobody is surprised that Vince McMahon, nobody's watched WWE as long as I have, is surprised Vince McMahon is this kind of scumbag behind the scenes.
Well, he's been buying and selling people. That's what his whole company's about. So he fires one wrestler and hires another one.
Yeah, but that's under a contract of being a performer on television and getting paid money. And now these wrestlers are actually getting paid all kind of things. They get medical insurance and everything. But back in the day when they were fighting WCW and it was like Howard Stern on TV, and they were just detrimental. You had DX doing their thing, suck it. You had Stone Cold flipping people off. You had a guy playing a pimp on TV called The Godfather. You had a guy, Val Venus, playing a porn star. You had all this stuff. So it does not surprise a wrestling fan that's been watching WWE that Vince would do stuff like this behind the scenes. But what I want to know, as a person that's been watching, that's known of this man for a number of years, I want to know if this man is doing this, if he's done this. I don't want her just accusing him of this because he did something wrong to her. Now, whatever he did wrong to her, he's already paid for, whatever. But if it is human trafficking and she was sold around the world and sold around to people, then I want to know if that was real or not. So,
like if Vince McMahon was her pimp or something.
Exactly.
Pimp day. I don't know.
So I'm just saying, in my view,
those are legal. Those are criminal. That would fall under criminal law, and I'm pretty sure if he was doing something like that.
Well, this is the same man. This is the same man that beat the steroids case in federal court, where he was allowing wrestlers back in the day, and I'm talking about grandpa wrestlers, ones that we would know as grandpa wrestlers back in the day, the big old built up guys, allowing them to take steroids to be on his show. He didn't provide it for him, but he allowed it to happen, and the federal government took Vince McMahon to court, and even Hulk Hogan stood up there working for the opposing company WCW and sit there and said Vince McMahon never told anybody to take anything. I remember that. It's the same man that had that issue, the same man that had. There's been so much going on with Vince, and Vince is not a perfect human being. Everybody knows this. So I just want to make sure that Vince is the imperfect human being. We all know him, and not a disgusting creep is what I want to know.
Well, right now, all it is one person saying something and somebody denying it. And that's all it really is at this point.
At this point. All right, we're
handling it internally, and we'll probably, if we hear anything about it, it'll be most likely rumors.
Well, no. They're going to have to give the...
I mean, unless it turns into a big court case, a big, criminal investigation or something where it all goes on public record. Otherwise, we'll probably, right now it just sounds like a bunch of mess.
Well, we'll find out whatever it is down the road. So I'll continue this coverage of the life and crimes of Vince McMahon as we continue to dive deeper into that. Let's talk about a couple other things. Let's drop this news story for you. Coming up from Alabama, ladies and gentlemen, Alabama executes Kenneth Smith with a gas, nitrogen gas. So let's talk about this right quick and everything before we dive into anything else. The state of Alabama has executed Keith Eugene Smith with this gas on Thursday night, making him not only the first U.S. inmate to be put to death this year, but the first one to ever die by an untested and controversial method of execution. The 58-year-old was executed. The 58-year-old was executed Thursday for the killing of a 45-year-old woman in March of 1988 in a murder for hire scheme that earned him $1,000. And that was a lot of money back then. 1999 trial had voted. The trial jury had voted 11-1 to recommend Smith a sentence life in prison and then give him death row later on. And the state, outlawed that. Alabama attempted to execute him by lethal injection in November of 2022, but with Smith tied to some kind of guarantee, and after the state failed to find a vein over the 90 minutes that they tried, his execution was called off. So they found a different way to do it. They executed him with this gas. And some people are saying it's not humane, but it wasn't humane for him when he killed that girl.
Wait a minute now.
Right?
I've heard of the gas chamber.
Well, this is nitrogen.
This must be some different gas. I don't know, but the people have been executed in gas chambers. I don't know if they use the same stuff.
No, it's not. It's what it is they're taking your oxygen away from you. They're hooking you up to something, a gas, nitrogen, nitro. The nitro. They're hooking you up to the nitro, basically gas, the nitro gas, and you're not getting to breathe oxygen in. You're getting this gas in, and that's how they're killing you. And some people are saying it's inhumane, but Well,
what he did to his victim.
Exactly.
Was inhumane.
Exactly. That's what I say. That's where we agree 110% on that. So, all right, let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, also, the big case that came out of Georgia a few years ago, Brunswick, Georgia, Mr. Ahmaud Arbery, who was killed after he was jogging. Now, somebody say, they wasn't jogging, boy, they deserved it, boy. Anyway, I know the uneducated don't understand. The killers are getting a March court date to appeal their hate crime convictions, which they were convicted on as well, along with the murder. So, coming from Savannah, Georgia, the 3 men convicted of hate crime for chasing and killing Mr. Arbery in a Georgia neighborhood in 2020 will have an appeal hearing in federal court in March. The 11th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals has scheduled an oral argument in a case on March 27th in Atlanta. Attorneys for the father and son, Greg and Travis McMichael, Travis McMichael's the one that ended up shooting the man. And Greg was like, if I'd have got a chance, I'd have shot him. This is all on video. I saw the police video of all three of these men. And their neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, I call him the cameraman, are asking the court to throw out the hate crime connection because, white people in small town, it's not hate crime. They're not racist. Aubrey 25, let me finish. Aubrey 25 was chased by a pickup truck and fatally shot in the streets of a suburb outside of the city of Brunswick on February 23rd, 2023. His killing sparked a nationwide outcry when the cell phone video that Bryant was doing as he was following these people that he was shooting was released about a month later. The McMichaels and Roddy, they spent a month without it, and even the local attorneys and them tried to help them out to keep them from getting in trouble. Travis McMichael shot Aubrey at close range, and all they did in that video with him was they were like, "Calm down, sir. Let's get you some water. Let's wash off the blood. I know this. This is probably the first time you've done this. You ever shot someone? I understand." People were just trying to calm him down. Like it was just a normal thing. The McMichaels and Bryan stood trial on hate crimes in the U.S. District Court judge 3 months later. So there you go. They're going to get a chance to appeal this so that they don't have that hate crime charge on them.
What would be the difference? Would that make a difference in their sentencing, or?
Maybe so.
Well,
but they'd still be in prison for murder. I don't know.
Yeah, you take somebody down. You can't just see somebody walking down the street and decide, I don't like that person, so I'm going to go shoot them.
But I mean, the father and son have got life in prison, while Bryant has got 35 years in prison. That could bring down Bryant's. If he gets this off of there, it could bring him down to where he could get out even sooner. 20 years sentence or something? They are already too old like it is. But the point is,
maybe that's about all the good that could come of it. But then again, maybe not. They may just be stuck with what they got.
Well, to me, I don't really care. They should be charged for it because in the case, the reason they're trying to argue is they're saying, well, it wasn't racial, even though in the videos and stuff are of stuff that they were saying. Travis McMichael commented on his Facebook video of a black man playing with a prank on a white person. He said, "I'd kill that effing N-word." And he said that back in 2018. They were riding around.
Okay, but when on video of them committing the crime, were they using the N-word?
Well, on them video, the video, no, you couldn't. Here's the video of when the police showed up. All the father said, "If I would have done it, I could have shot that. I'd have shot him. I'd have shot that thing. They had to and the thing about it is, the kid there was 3 videos separate of, I guess, from Brunswick Police Department where they were talking to each one of these men separately. And look, I watched each one of these videos. They were about over an hour. When the ambulance finally arrived, it was 30, 40 minutes within the time. 30 or 40 minutes. People were walking around. This kid was laying there bleeding
It took that long for them to get an ambulance there?
Yeah. I watched the thing. They were sitting around walking around. The father said he told his son to shoot him, and I'd have shot him too. And it was all because supposedly the kid stole something off of an empty house that they were building or something. And the guy over in Douglasville that was buying the house over there ended up selling the property because he didn't want to move over there because of all this that happened. And the words that they used, they might have dropped it, but when they were interviewing the cameraman, Roddy, they were sitting in the vehicle, and of course they were being nice to him like they always do when they have to be nice to any criminal to get them to confess. In the video, you can hear them saying, they're sitting in the vehicle, you can hear the guy saying, "Well, I was working the Roddy guy who initially claimed, well, I just started chasing him and didn't know what was going on and videoed it. In the video, what got him in trouble was he was sitting there talking to police like, I was working on my porch. They come flying by, yelled at me. I got in my car and I followed them. And he said, and they were chasing this colored guy, and or even worse, not was it whatever terminology that was used in 1968 towards black people or African American people was the terminology that these idiots were using. And I was watching the whole video, and I could sit there and.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being colored.
Well, no. It wasn't that. It was some terminology they used in 1968 towards African American people, which was racist, that I would never use. If it had not made national news, he never would have got arrested. That's right. They'd never been arrested. That's what listeners say.
To see how that turns out.
Well, they're probably not going to get it dropped because there's too much backing towards these guys to show that they were hateful and racist and and like I said, here's what I've always said. I don't care if the guy went on this empty lot, picked up a hammer and stole it and run off with it. That doesn't mean you have a right to get in your car and shoot somebody. There's people out there.
Buy another hammer. I didn't go into prison, isn't it?
Look, it doesn't give you a right to chase anybody out of your neighborhood. It doesn't give you a right to point a gun at them. It doesn't give you a right to kill somebody just because they stole something. It doesn't get, people have done things to me. Does that mean I need to kill them? The reality of it is.
I feel like you want to.
No, but I get mad, but I don't think I want to go pick up a gun and shoot somebody because they stole something from me. And look, this had nothing. This was on somebody else's property. These three gentlemen, what they should have did was call the police and say, "Hey, this guy's been out here a number of times. We don't know what he's doing." Police could have come up and talked to him, and if they'd have found out, well, he was just jogging, boom, it'd have been all right. The kid would still be alive today. The problem was these three guys thought they could just do what they wanted. There's a lot of people out here with that mindset. I can just do whatever I want to whoever I want to do it to, and it's called privilege. And it's not called white privilege or anything like that. I call it being spoiled. Because they think they can just go and do whatever they want. And there's people arguing that these people had a right to shoot this guy and everything. They didn't have a right to shoot him. You don't have a right to shoot anybody just because you're mad at them. And we have a lot.
A lot of the way you describe it, it does sound very ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's hard for me to think that a reasonable person would do something for that reason. Do something like that for that reason. I mean, if a reasonable person's going to shoot somebody, you would think there'd be a real good reason for it. I mean, a real good reason for it.
Yeah, you'd think that. You'd think if they were coming into your home and
because if they were just going to carelessly just shoot somebody nonchalantly just because of their skin color, I'm sure they would have done it way before then.
Well, actually, the father
history of racism or something.
Actually,
they have any problems on the job with people of
they do.
Race.
They did everything.
Look at a lot of different.
Yeah, that's why they get the hate crime.
Nevertheless, what they did was wrong. They shot somebody. It was wrong. It doesn't matter if that
it was racist.
Purple.
It was racist
for what they did, and they got to go to jail.
It was racist because they were known to be racist. They had terminology in their phones and on their Facebook page where they were being racist. The father killed a number of people in his past. He called the DA to get to he was telling the police in his video, well, I know the DA and everything, and I'm just that and the other, and I would have shot him too. Well, everybody was talking about the kid being shot, and then Travis was like, well, he grabbed a gun. Of course he grabbed a gun. If somebody's pointing a gun at me,
so they're saying he grabbed the gun. That's what made it go off.
They were defending that it wouldn't went out. Yeah, and the thing about it is, I would have been pushing the gun out of my face too if somebody was pointing it at me. Look, I've had people say things to me just when I walk up the street somewhere, and well, I noticed you walking up the street. I'm like, yeah, what the hell is your business? I'm going to the store. What the hell is your business?
With me, I would need to see a psychological evaluation on these folks. I would need to know their.
They got a 6th grade education.
I need to talk to people they went to school with. I mean, just everything. I know all about them.
We got to think about this. This Travis kid.
But it really wouldn't matter when you boil it down, when it all boils down. They killed somebody illegally. You know, it wasn't self-defense. It wasn't anything like that. So they're going to jail.
Well, they already in
now, the
jail.
hate crime part, and like you said, it might be up in the air.
No, they already went to jail. This happened in 2020. They're sitting in jail right now. They're trying to get an appeal to keep the hate crime off of their record. But I don't know why they would do that when everybody already knows that the video, the full video from the police officers over there are on the internet for each one of these guys. And you could tell that this was the first time this Travis kid ever did this before. But his daddy, you could tell he's done it a number of times. He was just walking around like it was another day. My son just shot this black kid. So, or, whatever he wanted to call him. It was just another day for him. And Travis, who's having to live up in the house with his father, these are not rich people, I guess. I don't know what they are. He's living up in the house with his father, taking care of his kid, and everything. And his dad tells him, "Let's go. We go." And they go running. They get their guns. And you just don't say.
The son was pretty much just doing what the dad said.
Yeah, but he's in prison because he killed somebody. He's the one that pulled the trigger. He's the one that pulled the trigger. The father went to prison for life because he was the mastermind.
So do you know for a fact, are there any proof or evidence his father has killed people before?
His father used to be a police, worked for the DA as a private investigator. And you tell me this, if somebody, no. Let me put this question to you. If I walked up and somebody in my family shot somebody and they were nervous, I'd be nervous because I've never done it before. I'd be like, "Oh my God, what is this?" This guy was walking around smoking a cigarette like it was an everyday occurrence. Like, well, he said, I'd have shot him too. I've done it before. I'd have shot it too. It was on video. It's on the police video from a few years ago.
He has a big ego.
Well,
he knows who I am.
Well, that's what he said. He told the police, he called the DA because he told him he worked for the DA. He called the DA, and for about a month, and the day that they did this, it took a month later before these men were arrested because the DA and everybody was trying to find a way to cover it up. If this Roddy guy hadn't had the video online, because he shared it online going, "Hey, this is what we do in our town if you are different than us," basically, by showing that. And when that got out, it became nationwide, and the rest of the nation like, "What's going on over there?" And they started looking into it. So,
here's the positive side to it all. If they did everything they could do to try to cover it up, and they still got a guilty verdict and they still went to prison, there's no way they're going to ever get out. If they've already done everything they possibly could to get them out of it and couldn't, they'll probably lose the appeal too.
Well, that's just how it is. They will use the appeal. All right, I'm going to take a break.
Never get out of jail.
I'm going to take a break. Back in a moment. I got commercials I got to get through.
You know somebody's really guilty.
Well, they were.
When they try hard, if they can't get you out of it, that means you're really guilty. Because usually when you're innocent, they try real hard to make you guilty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When they're not sure if you did it or not, but they got some circumstantial evidence, then all they need to do is persuade the jury.
Well,
you
people
come back with a guilty verdict. You can be just as innocent as everything.
Well, the thing about it is,
and they'll work hard to make you look guilty.
The thing about it is, I watched this court case a couple of years ago. The judge in the court case was these guys as defense lawyers were so disrespectful towards the court and the judge and everything. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're lucky they had a jury, because that judge would have just been like, okay, 3 days later, we're going to go and throw these guys in jail, because because they kept being disrespectful to the judge, or the lawyers did, and they were just sitting there talking about how it was his fault. He shouldn't have been running through the neighborhood. Their defense was he shouldn't have been running through the neighborhood. He was a known thief, so we thought he stole something. And the question from the defense or from the prosecutor was, well, why didn't you call the police?
911.
Yeah.
If he wasn't in your yard, then you can't say he was trespassing. So, yeah, they're done for.
Well, they've been done for, but the problem is they're trying to get out of being called racist. And even if the hate crime, federal crime was dropped on them, nobody's going to believe these guys are not racist.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they're good old boys with a 6th grade education that
maybe there's something else going on we don't know about. Maybe they thought he'd have been out in their marijuana patch. Maybe they thought he'd have been in their meth lab or something.
Could have been. They could have blamed him for
their moonshine steal. Maybe somebody been breaking into their moonshine steal. They thought it was him.
Well, I think
because it just doesn't make sense that somebody intelligent enough to work as a private investigator for the DA would be that dumb.
Well, the thing about it is, that's what I'm sitting there thinking to myself. I'm thinking that these people had something illegal going on, and they didn't want him out in the neighborhood because he might come upon it since they're out in the neighborhood looking at.
Maybe he was their competition in whatever they were doing.
No, this kid was going to school to be an electrician. This kid was he had gotten some trouble when he was younger, and he was a top football player for Brunswick over there. He was well known, and they tried to act like they didn't know who he was. And we didn't know who he was, so we shot him. We didn't know who he was. Bull crap, they knew who he was. He was the star player on their football team. And that, it's the same thing down there in Alabama. Everybody knows the kids on all the football teams there. If they get in trouble, John got in trouble. I can't believe it.
They got that guy that shot that man in Lynette supposed to go in front of a court. I guess he's having a hearing or something.
All right, well, I'm getting ready to come back. Hold on. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. You got that right. Thank you guys for joining us. Anna Marie, Morgan, we appreciate you guys. Morgan, sir, tell me where you're from. He says, do you stream every day? Yes, I do. Thank you for being on the YouTube page for us, guys. It's the one that's working, and we're going to continue to let it work. I got Andrew Polanis with me this morning on this Friday morning. The morning started off a little, whoop, she's gone. The morning started off a little, but now it's getting better. The morning started off a little, now it's getting better. Andrew Polanis, you hung up on me there.
You hung up on me.
No, you hung up on me. You went through a tunnel.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. Anytime I lose somebody on the phone, I tell them you must have went through a tunnel. All right. We're going to talk a little wrestling coming up in the next hour. Royal Rumble is tomorrow night. I'm going to be checking it out this weekend, guys, to talk about it on Monday next week. Also, just to let you guys know, Action Wrestling is going to be at Arnell Middle School today, starting at 6 p.m. All the exciting action of Action Wrestling and proceeds going to the middle school beginning at 6 p.m. today. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit about the new head coach. The new head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. We've got a little details coming up for you in the next hour and get you ready for this weekend's Final Four, or I call them the Final Four this weekend in the NFL playoffs in the NFC and AFC, and those two champions will face off in the Super Bowl. And I think I'm going to see the 49ers and the Ravens. But if the Bengals can beat the Ravens, I want the 49ers to be in. I've been calling it all season. If the Bengals go, let me tell you what's going to happen. You got a Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce who dates Taylor Swift, and you got Jason Kelce, who's the brother who just left the Eagles. He was drunk at the last one. Let's just be honest. He was drunk at the last game they won over the Bills. He was out there dancing in the cold with his shirt off. But the biggest thing that would happen for the Super Bowl, I know a lot of people don't want to see this, but do you think, Andrew, that if the not the Cincinnati Bengals, what I'm talking about, the Kansas City Chiefs, if the Chiefs beat the Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Ravens, if the Chiefs go on to go to the Super Bowl, there'll be Taylor Swift there. Don't you think there'll be a lot of people to watch that game just because she might show up? The Super Bowl?
Well, I'm pretty sure if she does show up, they'll put the camera on her.
Well, they've done.
She may go to the Super Bowl anyway, whether they win or not.
Whether her boyfriend's team wins or not, well, I don't know, because this year Usher is doing the halftime show. They've got Post Malone singing one of the national anthem or something, or one of those things, and Reba McEntire is going to kick off by singing. I think it's either national anthem or something like that. She's going to be singing in the pregame, Reba McEntire, Post Malone, and it's someone else. And then you've got Usher doing the halftime show this year. So you got a lot of great singers going to be at the Super Bowl. We already know what the music's going to be provided at the Super Bowl this year. So
yeah,
and everything. So we'll talk more about the Super Bowl coming up and all that. But first, we got to get through this weekend. The Chiefs take the Ravens on, and the Lions take on the 49ers this weekend. So we'll get into that next hour, plus a little wrestling wrap up for you. I think that we got everything out of the way. Let's see. Let me take a look. I did do that story and that story. I was going to make sure I get all my stories out of the way. Yes. Before I get anything else underway. Well, Andrew, I appreciate you being with me for the last hour, basically.
I gotta go. I hear babies crying.
I know you do. So tell everybody how to follow you right quick so you can go run and get the twins going, the Twin Terrace.
Just YouTube.
All right, Andrew Bellotto on YouTube.
Facebook, Instagram.
Her Facebook actually works, so.
I share stuff I'm telling you, that's what it was. You shared about 20 things within 1 hour, and
I couldn't have shared that much, I don't think.
Go in there and count it.
Okay, I will.
Look at the time.
I will.
From the first post all the way to the last one. You just posted 2 minutes.
I'll look at it and check and see, but I appreciate that.
They've done me that way. Back when I used to.
I do know I got some people out there that don't want this to be successful here.
I'd be sending messages to people through the messenger, and I'd send so many, and it stopped me and say, "You can't send any more till tomorrow."
Well, I'll look into that and see. I hope it's that and not something else, because I'm sitting out here. This is what I do for a living, of
course. That's all it is.
Well, this is what I do for a living, and I don't want it to be interrupted. But I'm going to let you go. You guys follow Andrew Bellotto on all of her sites, YouTube, Facebook, and everything. Download her podcast. It's called Red Letters Radio, and one of my favorite podcasts, of course. You know why it is, but I've loved listening to it. She's going to get some new stuff up, but guys, it doesn't matter. The stuff she's got is timeless. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm not going to put anything new out till what I've already got out there sinks into people's thick heads.
Well, I love it. All right, I'm going to let you go.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you too, bye. All right, that's the wonderful Andrew Bellotto, my lovely bride. What's up, Sharon? What you doing? We're going to talk a little sports coming up next hour and other things. Stay with us. They done blocked me on everything. Hopefully it's just what she says it was. There's too many things on the radio station page, but I could not tag you. I had you tagged this morning, Cher, with 200 other people that sent me messages in the radio station page saying, please tag me. I want to watch it. Now they're going to be mad thinking I didn't want to tag them. Like I didn't think about them. I thought about them because they all sent me messages. Please tag me. So if you send me a message to tag you through the Facebook page and everything, sorry, my Facebook page on the radio station page has a 23-hour community standards block too. I don't know if it's my enemies. I don't know if it's really I posted too much. Put news stories on there. but more than likely it's probably the enemies. But I'm going to go ahead and try to be less conspiracy theory. But, I don't get on here and I don't preach one side or the other. So maybe people don't like that. I know Cher don't care, and Anna Marie don't care, and Dr. Edward don't care, and all the people that tune in and don't care because they just like to have a good time and get news as news. But some people want you to be conspiracy theories. The only conspiracy theory I want to talk about is JFK. He didn't kill nobody. Except for him. Oh my goodness. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. What a morning it's been. Well, they just don't like us, Share, because we're getting along. What it is you get in trouble all the time. I've seen you guys' pages. You're like Anna Marie. Anna Marie will put a picture of a cat saying, "Hey, have a nice day. You, get off of the Facebook. You're not spreading hate." YouTube's like, what is wrong with him? YouTube's like, okay, come on over here, guys. You can talk about cats all you want. We don't care. You can talk about pets all day. The lizard people killed JFK. I shouldn't have said that now. They'll never let me back on the radio on Facebook. Oh, wait a minute. They might. That might work. The lizard people killed JFK. Oh, they just let me back on. He's spreading lies. All right, whatever. But, they're getting a little too hardcore. I know people, I honestly tell you guys, I know people are reporting people because they're getting mad because they losing everything. Oh, no, I'll be banned now, says Hannah Marie. Well, you guys, we're actually saying this on YouTube because I can't get on our Facebook, can't get on my Facebook page, so YouTube doesn't care. I know people like, but I've seen people, you have to be very, very, very way out there to get banned on YouTube. You have to be so far out to get banned on YouTube. You got YouTube be like, what in the world did that person just say? They don't even ban people for saying things which you just said. They just leave that on there. Okay, whatever. But if you got on there and start saying the lizard people are living in my house right now, and you know what? They are taking over every one of you, and they're coming to eat you, and you start and then you start going, it's all the Illuminati's fighting, and saying you start giving all this spooky different stuff. They'll be like, wait a minute, this person's going crazy. They're trying to say that the Illuminati is the president of the United States of America and all this other. Oh, YouTube, disclaimer, I'm making fun of that so that you don't pull me off because I know you guys take care of the lunatics, but you let a lunatic like me stay on here. So, and at least Spreaker never does that. But yeah, I had a little problem on the radio station page. I'm like, what in the world did I do? All I did was share regular news stories. I shared a news story that said, woman had a pet gator. Oh, let's get him off. He won't spread the hate between Trump and Haley. He's going to talk about a gator. And all I would say about Trump and Haley is they're both running for president. Oh my God, he's not trying to get into conspiracies with him. No, there's a dang. Facebook's like, no, he's not spreading clickbait. Doesn't make people want to be on here. And it's like I said earlier, man, I'm glad YouTube is doing what YouTube does. Facebook is just going too far with everybody. And there's nothing I put on there. And like I said, I'm in the media and I have more protections from the Federal Communication Commission than most people who do shows on the internet and everything. And because I have to follow their rules the same way as some of these other people on the left and the right. Let's just say the people going on X to do shows, they all follow FCC rules, whether they're spreading spreading whatever they're spreading, they still try to keep it within a package. I've noticed that. So that's all I'm going to say. We're going to take a break. Back in a moment. Let the same lunatic unit. I tagged you this morning, share, until it said I couldn't put it on my page, radio station page. So I just wanted to let you know, because I know that you don't get up every time the same morning, but I tried to. And Anna Marie, I tagged you too. So I'm glad y'all guys were able to find me, but I tagged everybody because I didn't want it to be too hard for you to find me this morning. I was trying to be a kind person. And then Facebook on the radio station page says, no. I'm like, and like I said, I can understand on my personal page because it's not a radio station page, it's my personal page. So maybe, yeah, I got a little mad about it, but not as mad as I did about the radio station because it's a different thing. My personal page, I don't share everything on there. I don't share everybody's show. Big thing is, this is going to interrupt all my other programming that I need to put their links on there so that people can enjoy all this other great programming I have. I guess I was more mad about that because I try to respect my clients. My clients will be, it's all right, Ryan, it's fine, it's okay. They'll pat me on the back and tell me it's fine. But that's fine, I appreciate them, but still it's disrespectful from Facebook to do that. Just in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't share anything more than what I would normally share every morning on my page for news. 2 or 3 news stories here, 2 or 3 news stories there. And they were down the middle news stories. So many people want to add me. I want to thank Randy Rocket Cody too. He tagged me yesterday in something that I'm gonna have to read this morning, just because almost made me have a tear in my eye out of respect from such a respectful from this man. Made me feel good about myself. Cyro, what's up? Also at SRNnews.com, the Federal Trade Commission launches an investigation into the relationships between the nation's big tech providers and new artificial intelligence companies. Correspondent Jackie Quinn reports.
Government antitrust regulators have ordered cloud providers Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, along with AI startups Anthropic and OpenAI, to provide information about their investments and partnerships. FTC Chairwoman Lena Khan
will promote fair competition and protect Americans.
Khan says the FTC is scrutinizing whether relationships between these firms will exert undue influence.
Will this be a moment of opening up the markets to fair and free competition?
Or will a handful of tech giants
concentrate control over these key tools?
I better put that in there.
State of Alabama's put Kenneth Eugene Smith to death by nitrogen hypoxia.
Had to say hey to my friend Cyro.
He was sentenced to death for a 1988 murder. This is SRN.
From Monte Carlo, he always is supporting the show.
The American Family Association is sounding an alarm about new federal rules for the foster care system that would make it impossible for Christians to take children into their homes.
Woo! I had to get rid of that stuff earlier because only on air they heard it. Everything else we recorded is gone.
Abraham Hamilton is general counsel for the AFA.
What you essentially have transpiring for the Biden administration is an effort to ultimately purge the ranks of foster care providers of those who actually adhere to a physical position on sexuality and identity.
He says Christians need to contact their congressman and urge them to block the Biden administration plan. There are also legal remedies. Last year,
All right.
the court struck down a similar effort on SRNnews.com.
I guess we're in the penitentiary now. I guess we might as well be in the penitentiary, the real penitentiary.
Church 33, Greenville
Can I like
Street,
now?
by the
Thank you.
Kiwanis Club of Noonan. Run for Angels and Chicken Q, February 3rd. Be there.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your journey. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Speak to Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sale agent.
Hank Arnold here from Coweta Forest. Coweta Forest is Noonan's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetaforest.org or follow us on Facebook.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan. Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through
I
Saturday.
wonder if I can
10:30
put this on my personal page
It's
now.
Wishbone Fried Chicken, right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan.
Calvary Fellowship is an expository Bible teaching church.
Oh, they allow me to share something on my personal page.
And we apply it to life mightily. We're here every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock on WQEE, and we look forward to having you join us. Our church offices are located in Sonoy, Georgia, 6855 Highway 16, Suite 102, Sonoy, Georgia. If you'd like to call us, our number is 770-755.
Man, that's from last week. That's, oh my gosh, that's all right. I don't want to miss. Don't want to miss. Don't want to miss. Don't want to mess with it.
Listen to the Sports Beat with Richard Olson, Monday through Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. on WQEE. The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of
Oh, cheese sandwiches. That's right.
are its clientele. All right, we're going to do it once more. And this time, no mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay awake. Good morning. Good morning to you. When the band began to play, the stars were shining bright. But now the milkman's on his way. It's collect and say goodnight. So say good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
To you. Oh, yeah. We were still going there. Stewie, what are you talking about, buddy? We are still going. We got the final period of play. We're going to do a little bit of sports for you. Also, a couple other newsworthy notes. We're going to do the Royal Rumble tribute. That's right. Royal Rumble's coming up tomorrow night, so I'll talk about it a little bit. I appreciate you guys being with us this morning. My personal page is working again, but not my radio station page. What's up with Facebook? It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. Yours truly, Ryan O'Neal, of course, and I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Shout It Out Loud. Across that RyanORadio media page that always works. Across Earth, Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. And finally, joining communication to family radio stations. Real radio. I'm not in my mom's basement. I'm not making up conspiracy lies. It's WQEE 99.1 FM, the key home of Southern sports and inspirational talk. We got it going on. Real broadcasters, real shows, and real people. Not all this imaginary conspiracy theory, people. Stop playing in your mom's basement. Come talk to me if you really want to become something. And to all my haters, you know what? I got one thing to say to you. Get up close to the dial and listen to this. You haters. Listen up. Whether they like it or not, I am the man around here. Good morning to you. We got a lot of other things going on and kicking off on this edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We're going to end the hour with a little Royal Rumble tribute and review. We're going to talk about that, a preview, I should say, since Royal Rumble is tomorrow night. And Atlanta's got a brand new head coach. Some fans are happy about it, some are not. So I don't know about you, but I don't care one way or the other. But I'm hoping that we'll do better this year. We'll talk about new head coach, but it's historic making because I think it's the first ever head African-American head football coach for the Atlanta Falcons, which is kind of a historic moment in a way. Actually, it is an historic moment. So there you go. All right, I want to talk about the kids at school right quick. Oh my goodness. Your kids are at school and they may not get to eat if they don't pay unpaid meal charges. You ain't paid your meal, you can't have no food. Really? You're just making all those conspiracy nuts out there even more happy. Told you, man, the lizard people are coming after us, boy. Even going after our schools, man. Man, I am so tired of this, though. Why are we punishing kids, man, for something? Starting next week in Decatur County schools who have students who have unpaid meal charges will get a cheese sandwich, not even toasted, a cheese sandwich and milk instead of a selection of whatever's for lunch. So if they're having pizza or spaghetti or hamburgers, you get a cheese sandwich and milk, nothing else. Go on. We're just gonna slap some of those that pre-processed cheese on 2 slices of bread that's stale and give you some old milk. The city of Decatur have a district-wide balance of $88,000, according to the statement of the district spokesperson. Starting February 2nd, after a student has charged 3 meals, they're stuck with cheese sandwiches and milk instead of the standard meal. We can't raise money for our kids to have some stuff in their schools. This is freaking ridiculous. Look, this is ridiculous. They're going to be taking care of us when we're old. Does your ass want to be living in a nursing home using the bathroom on yourself? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen to you. Disrespecting these kids today. They're going to remember this. All you go, I remember when my parents used to do this to me. You don't think they're not going to remember? Well, I went to school. Yeah, what if they have a dairy allergy? Now that is a good question, Anna Marie. I don't understand what's going on. It's not in all schools, but there's some schools throughout the state. Now, Coweta County, they're not going to do that kind of stuff. They were like, get out of here with your ignorant stuff. We're not doing that at Coweta County. We're not stupid here. We know our kids are going to be the future. But that's what I'm saying, really. According to the chief communication officer for the district, he said, a few of our families realize this is the alternative many districts choose, but CSD wants to avoid. By offering an alternative, students get a nutritious meal that is a financially substitute for the district. You are singling out this child and multiple other children saying, hey, today I'm eating chicken and you're eating another cheese sandwich. Your parents must not have the money to pay for your food. That's what Jasmine Crow Houston, the mother herself, who is the CEO of the food company that helps out with that. Go, Jasmine, tell them about it, girl. Jasmine Crow Houston saw a new procedure and decided to start a GoFundMe account and try to pay for the district's balance. She is trying to pay kids, trying to get the money to pay for the balance. She's doing it on her own, trying to get other parents to help. But these selfish, privileged people out there, and it's privileged, I call people spoiled, would rather spend their money on going on a cruise or a vacation than helping out their local community. And then get mad when they have to pay a high bill. Like this time of year, we all have to pay higher electric bills. I know utility companies go higher. I'm not dogging my electric company. I'm not dogging them. But it's a little bit more than what I wanted to pay last month. But I'm not dogging them. I'm not putting them down. I understand there's a process and things happen and all that kind of stuff. You're never gonna. I'm not gonna understand, but they know what they're doing. I mean, and I'm not gonna question anybody. But we do get mad when we have to pay a little extra. But if you got the extra money, instead of taking your ass on a vacation, give it to your local district. Don't say, well, their parents need to get another job. The parents already probably got 3 jobs. You don't want them making $15 an hour at the burger joint. You don't want them making money, $30 an hour. You tell them you're going to give them $30 an hour online, but they end up making $10 an hour online after everything's taken out. You don't want to hire them to put them in these meals, and meals used to be real good jobs. Now they don't even pay these people worth anything anymore. And these people got harder jobs than the rest of us. But then when daddy is having to work 2 shifts at the mill just to keep a roof over the head, first thing we're going to do is we're going to blame the economy and inflation rather than look at all this happened because of the world, and rather than look at, well, if I got the money, instead of John having to work 2, let's go ahead and help some money out. Sheriff said, that's horrible. They can take care of our children. It's not the children's fault. It's the parents. Well, I know some people that work these jobs and they're paying for everything. And we still have an old school mindset in the South, Sheriff, that men work and women don't. There's a lot of people still get that mindset. Except for the young generation Zs and the millennials. I can tell you right now, my stepdaughter and her husband got a nice big house. Both of them work, 3 kids, nice big house. Of course, they have to have help from the family to help with the kids, but there's nothing wrong with that. If somebody can do that and help them, that's fine. But what I'm saying is both of them are working. And by God, I'll tell you right now, if something like that was going on around them, they'd be taking some money out of their pocket to make sure that kids at school had food. My stepdaughter's a nurse. There you go. So, but the reality of this is there's a lot of people that work hard and work 2 jobs. We have to stop complaining about our burgers being a couple of cents more when you got the money to go on a cruise or a vacation. See, a savings account, once again, like I tell you, is not a vacation account. It's a savings account for a rainy day. That's what we were taught in school. It's what I was taught in college. I was not taught. I taught that if you were all caught up on your bills and there was nothing going on, take a little bit out of the savings account and go on vacation, but not every year at the same time. We got encouraged by back in the day when our parents, when daddy could go to work and pay for everything in the house. It's not like that anymore. And it's never going to be like that. So, and the only time people struggled back in the day was really people didn't work. Let's be honest. People back in the day that struggled really didn't have jobs. If you had a job back in the day working at the grocery store, heck, you could still at least have a decent apartment. And it's not just inflation. It's not just whatever this administration and that administration. I'm not going to get into all that because I've studied all this in high school and stuff. So whenever I say something, I'm not saying it just because I like something or don't like something. I'm just telling you, inflation happened because the world was shut down for 2 years. But this kind of deal at this Decatur schools where you have a number of children going there and people are not helping to pay out, and sometimes we're not going to say that some of these parents, they might forget to give their kids money. Okay. They might be having to get everybody up, get them ready to go to school. Daddy or mama might have to be heading off to work. And of course, sometimes you forget to put that money out for lunch. And they get 3 meals and then, I ate a cheese sandwich today. And they're like, oh my God, I forgot to give you money. Now you don't tell me that parents don't get busy. I'm going to sit here and go with reality instead of my political beliefs or whatever on either side. I'm going to go with reality. Reality is a lot of you would forget. if you think about it, reality is the ones that may have had their kid goes to school and they're like, why did my kid, I forgot to give him money. But I had like 500 things on my mind. Look, running a household with kids and two parents in the household and having to have food and coming home from work, and come on, guys, we know that we're going to forget. Okay? But what the problem is, the kids that don't have the money because they got single parents that might be working in a grocery store or burger joint, or maybe working two jobs. And if somebody parent is working two jobs, they might forget to leave some money out. Okay? So what we're doing is we're going to force, like Anna Marie said about the what if they have dairy allergies? What if they're allergic to dairy? That's true. What if they are? Families at or below 100% of the federal poverty line can get free lunch. Families between 130% and 185% now. This is the people that can afford to buy lunch, sort of. Most of those kids that have the parents working two jobs, they're getting free lunch anyway. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the other ones that can get money and stuff. Families between 130% and 185% of the federal poverty line receive a reduced price lunch. Children deserve to have dignity when they eating, and they don't need to be shamed at school, said Ms. Crowell Houston. So, Metro Atlanta area schools were asked what to do when the students overdraft on their lunch balances. The Cobb County schools serve grilled cheese sandwiches as an alternative meal. A spokesperson for the Gwinnett County School says served as an alternative meal, but did not go into details what that was. We're gonna give them a little something we don't care. We're gonna give these kids just a little something. You know what? To concentrate, you have to have a decent meal in the daytime. Why do you think they provide breakfast in the morning for some kids who can't get breakfast? That we get them out so damn early in the morning to go to school. Half of them don't have time to eat. Some of them don't have food at home, but we're not talking about that. But we got people who are more about me. You know what? You're a selfish person. And that's probably why they want to block me and everything on all these things, because I won't agree with their political mental retardation. that it's all somebody's fault. No. You know whose fault it is? As a society. If you're a Christian, every church should be jumping to go to that school right now and say, look, I know that you don't want church in the school, but I tell you what, here's some money for the kids. Instead of going, I got to buy something for me to make me look good to go to church on Sunday. What's up? Hello. Rose, is that Rose? I don't know what your name is on there. But if this is starting in these Georgia schools in these bigger districts, it's going to go everywhere, guys. Once we accept the point that we treat our kids worse than we treat our prisoners, and look, I don't think no human should be denied any kind of food whatsoever. I don't care whether I like them or don't like them, except for sex offenders, child molesters, rapists, something. Now, a murderer, I wouldn't mind them having, a hamburger or two, because I don't know why they murdered somebody, but we treat our kids worse than that. Okay, we're the richest country in the world, and we act like we're a third world country. We get mad. We'd rather fight about politics instead of caring for one another. Our sounds a little hippy dippy. No, that's Jesus Christ, buddy. Well, you were cussing. You get mad about things, Ryan. Well, I'm a human being. I'll raise some hell every once in a while and don't care. It's just who I am. I'm normal. I don't try to hide who I am like so many other people try to hide who they are. I don't try to hide who I am. Tell me when I'm telling lies. I don't hide who I am. It's just the way I am. I don't care. But I do see that this is disrespectful to the children And I don't see why so many people haven't started. This woman's starting this GoFundMe account. She should be able to go to every single church in that area and get enough money to help pay off that so the kids can have food. If these kids are not able to eat, they're not able to learn. To me, this is disgusting that we've become a society of selfish people claiming to be Christian, showing up to church on the pew on Sunday, saying, "Oh, hallelujah, preacher," and then leaving right after church and looking over at the homeless guy going, looking over at somebody poor that's working at the burger joint. "Why are you working up here today? Huh. I went to church and you didn't." Really? 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 Judgmental, any kind? And then attacking the young preachers that come into your town, preaching on the streets, that never get attacked by college kids who totally disagree with them, totally have a different mindset. The Gen Zs and the millennials have a totally different mindset than some of these young preachers, but you never see them punching them in the face on video. You never see them cussing them out. You always see old people doing it. We're getting old and crappy, guys. Come on. We got to start acting right. And this thing about the food, why, I'm going to call, I know this is worldwide and it's going to be heard and statewide here. I'm calling it out. If you're over there in Decatur County, you're in Gwinnett County, in these areas, if you got churches over there, you guys need to go to the school and find out what you can do for these kids. Even if it's you and your group of people at your church just going and buying lunch at a local restaurant. And if you're a food truck person listening, go to these schools, sit in front of the high schools or something, and say, hey, we're gonna give you an alternative since you got to eat cheese sandwiches and milk because you hadn't paid. Come on over here and let's see what I can do for you. And no, that's not socialism. Socialism is the government taking care of you, not people taking care of people. I don't want the government involved whatsoever in this. I want us to take care of this. We don't need the government to take care of this. We can take care of it ourselves. They got more important things to worry about. Wars in Israel, how to get that taken care of, stuff going on in Russia, the election coming up. They got more important things to worry about than, doing that. So we can take care of it ourselves. Let's stop acting like we're 2-year-olds needing somebody to change our diaper, and let's stand up and take care of our kids. That's my opinion. And tell me when I'm telling lies. You can't. You can't. Besides, I probably wouldn't agree with you anyway if you told me, "You're Ryan." Like, no, I'm not. Back in a moment. Is that Rhodes? I don't know. It's got 3 R's and it's spelled like Rhodes. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but hello to you.
Answer questions and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a top expert in medical, health, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Meet Charmaine Preston, your trusted agent for finding the perfect plan to fit your budget. She works with multiple companies, ensuring the best option just for you. Don't miss out on the chance to make the right choice for your financial future. 706-525-5931. Get Charmaine Preston, CP Financial, your top local sales agent.
And February 3rd, 5K, 10K fun run. Fun run 8 a.m., 5K, 10K, 8:30 a.m.
drive through or drive in. Noonan First United Methodist Church, 33 Greenville Street. Presented by the Kiwanis Club of Noonan. Run for Angels and Chicken Coop, February 3rd. Be there.
Somebody probably don't agree with me on that thought process, but if we come together and start taking care of these people, like all the people that have the money to do that, then people won't have to worry about that. No, we don't have to have churches. Churches could be involved. Here's the thing. Churches can be involved in giving money and helping out these schools. That don't mean that they're trying, that they can go in there. That don't mean that unless it's a private school or church school, then they might want to go there and preach. That don't mean we have to do that. Even though I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind that, but somebody else would. But that just shows caring. Got to take care of everybody. We're supposed to take care of all of God's creatures. And the ones that are the future of this world, we're giving them cheese sandwiches and milk. I wouldn't want to be on the end of them being an adult. I wouldn't want to be the old person going, I wish somebody did that to you. They'd be like, okay, go live in a nursing home. Mess on yourself. I don't care. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be on their bad side. Yep. Hello, welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. What's up, Sportsnet inmates and more? Coming up next hour, it's the hour of House of Light. First is Wisdom Cafe with April Novoa. And then it's Lyrical Wisdom with Donna and Bruce. At 11 a.m., Focus on the Family, and follow that up with another live show of our friend, the one, the only, Railroad Music, and Trish, the mobile chaplain, with Hope, Healing, and Inspiration. That's all coming up for you this morning. And that's following the shows. We're hoping to get them on the Facebook page. If can't, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know. We're going to try to do something. Maybe I can share it from my page on there. I don't know. We'll see what we can do, because I got to get it on there for you guys to watch and listen and everything. All right. We're back here. It's 33 minutes past the hour. This coming up weekend is going to be a big weekend of nonstop football action for you. A lot of football action for you. That's right. Woohoo! Coming up this weekend, the Chiefs take on the Ravens, 3 p.m. The Lions and the 49ers, 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, playoff Sunday. Woohoo! Yeah! What about us to stay in church a little late? Yep. I know. I got some brothers and sisters staying in church all the way to 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You know who I'm talking to. You won't be able to watch it. Can't skip out of church because your preacher will be like, what? You going to go to watch a game? Well, and then you say, preacher man, let's give some money to the school so the kids don't have to eat cheese sandwich. You'd be like, okay. Chiefs, Ravens, Sunday, 3 p.m. Lions, 49ers, 6:30 p.m. on Sunday. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is getting ready for this weekend's game. He was out after last week's game. Philadelphia Eagles have Vic Fangio as their new defensive coordinator. The Bengals have promoted Don Pitcher up to offensive coordinator. And ladies and gentlemen, also, wow, the Canadians have signed Tate McRae, and she is going, a Canadian singer, Tate McRae, will be headlining the NHL All-Star Game. The NHL All-Star Game is going to be coming up in February, and she's going to be performing at a second intermission. There's going to be 4 celebrities that are going to be guest coaches for the All-Star Game. That sounds good. Doc Rivers also is going to be the new Milwaukee Bucks coach. Bucks on Wednesday decided to bring him in as the new head coach after 24 hours of letting go of the former head coach, Andre Griffin, who went 30-13 so far on the year. That's a couple of newsworthy notes for you there. And the River Dragons will be back in action tonight and tomorrow night. Baton Rouge in town tonight and tomorrow night. 7:35 tonight, YouTube. 7:05 tomorrow night, YouTube. Check it out. Woo-wee. And finally this morning, I'm going to play this for you. We have a brand new head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. Raheem Morris, 19th head coach. All right, do you think Coach Morris is going to be good for the Falcons or not? I've seen a lot of Falcons fans going, kicking themselves and saying, I think we're going to have another losing season. And look, Falcons fans are the only ones I will never disagree with when it comes to the Falcons. If they say it's not going to be a good season with him, all I got to say is they're right. Unless you can get Cam Newton to come play. Cam Newton is a local gentleman, and his mom and dad have a local church here in the metro Atlanta area of Newnan. And he's going around doing some wonderful events and everything. But he said if he came back to the NFL, he wants to go to the Falcons. And you know what? Cam's a good player. He's a great guy. And he gives back to the community. I wish he was in the community right now. I know that he's going to be one of the ones to figure out a way to get money to these kids in these schools. I know that's the kind of person he is. He's got an after-school program that he has here in the metro Atlanta area of Newnan. He feeds kids. He helps kids out. He does all of this. And gets them somewhere to study, somewhere to be. They play basketball outside. They got all kind of activities. The man is giving money to give back to the community. And I hope he does come in at Atlanta. It'd be so great if he was in the Falcons. So Coach Morris, Raheem Morris, since you're coming over, you need a new quarterback. Cam Newton to do good. He's not too far away. He can come visit his family here in Newnan. Maybe I can get him on the show. Be like, Ryan, don't get too mad in the mornings, though, anymore. It's like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'd say to him. Yes, sir. Sonny Van Gloria, good morning to you for joining us. I can't tell where that's from, but we appreciate you and everything you do wherever you're at. No hate here. Oh, still to come this morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble after this. Yeah, we got a lot in store for you. I think I got everything out of the way. I got my madness out of the way. I'm feeling a little bit better. If you don't know, I got a little mad because they restricted the radio station page where I couldn't share this show on there. Now I'm able to share it on my personal page. I'm like, well, if I don't, then I could tag everybody on my personal page and tell them being mad. Ryan, you Mitch got mad? You Mitch got mad about that, Ryan? Why you Mitch got mad? Ain't you supposed to hide things like that? Not me. WQEE 99.1 FM, real radio, real people, a real person. That's why I got real listeners worldwide, because they're like, this guy's real, man. He acts like a real person. He doesn't put on a fake face. He's got a real voice and a real radio, and he calls people out. And he doesn't care if it makes somebody mad or not. Kind of like that. Wish we could do that. You can. Just, you don't have to be mad every single time you call somebody out. I'm not mad every single time I call somebody out, but I was a little mad about Facebook. First, earlier this week, I didn't follow community standards on my personal page, so I had to go to my radio station page. Then, this morning, after I put some news stories on them, then they say I'm not following that, and I get mad about that. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's just attacking for the devil all week. Because YouTube has sent me things saying, you're doing a good job. I'm like, YouTube, don't tell me that. Facebook don't like you telling me that. Yes, guys, for those know that are listening on the radio and on the Spreaker and everything, yes. Yes. I'm on YouTube as well on the radio station page live. Everything was going up, going up, going up. And then it goes back down because I can't tag anybody. And I apologize to the people I did tag this morning. Did find me anyway. But by the way, if Gail comes on or later on, Gail from the Sioux Crew in Tennessee, I tagged you this morning, but the radio station Facebook page messed up. Just wanted you to know that. So you didn't think I forgot about you guys. I didn't forget about you and everybody that sent me messages through the radio station page saying, hey, Ryan, would it be all right for you to tag me? Because I want to see it. Because I might forget about you. Like, sure. I did not forget you guys. Facebook on the radio station page just wouldn't allow it. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen, do a little wrestling Royal Rumble. I'm ready for it this weekend. I need to get in the Rumble after this morning. Back in a moment. Yeah, I just want you guys to know that I tagged you, so.
Show and the 30-minute Radio Rarities podcast can be emailed to you every Monday via digital download link that never expires. That's 24 classic radio shows per month, plus the games, celebrity interviews, music trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you'd like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com to subscribe. That's Hollywood360radio.com.
Sunday, January 28th, Hollywood. Haley J is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Plus, the return of James Ellsworth. Get your tickets right now.
Oh, I got to do that.
Wrestling.tv.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. And coming up here in just a few moments, we're going to do a little Royal Rumble preview for this weekend. Before I want to thank my friend from Cody from Randy Cody, Rocket, our Rocket Man here from the Metal Den Online, for tagging my page and telling everybody some things, and I appreciate that. He said den heads, which is what he calls his supporters and followers, and a lot of great things going on there. He said, this is the only, in capital letters only, FM rock station that I will continue to work with in all the United States of America. His name is Ryan O'Neal of Atlanta, Georgia's WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key. And for better or worse, this cat has always had mine and TMD's back. And Mick's. Big things are coming for this dude, and his loyalty to me over the past 5 years, since I have appeared on his show almost every single month, is, capital letters, is real deal. Show him your support, and Up Irons, FTW. Those are big. Rocket. It's hashtag Team Mick. And he shared all my stuff for people to follow and like. I got people that sent me a lot of requests. Can't even add you as friends. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can go back and see this. I'm sorry I can't add you as friends because I got too many of them right now. I'm afraid if I let anybody go, they're going to call me and say, Ryan, what's going on? Because I actually do know all 5,000 people on my friends page. I'm not like some people like, well, I just added so-and-so. I actually know all these people. And over half of them I've met in real life. So these are not just people on my page that I know because they follow me, but these are people I've actually met. So unlike most people go on their Facebook pages, they don't know the people that are on their Facebook pages. And that's what made me a little angry the other day about it. What made me angry about the radio station is I actually know these people because I get requests from everybody to tag them. And most of the time, these people don't like nobody else to tag them and everything. And they want to support me, and I appreciate their support, same way as Randy. And then if I have an opening, guys, I'll try to get you in there. I'm not releasing some of the other people, but you can still follow the Ryan O'Neal page. You can still go to my RyanORadio Penitentiary page and follow me. You can go and try to add. We got a couple more left on the WQEE page to be friends. You can do that. There may be some people who can come off of that page that are further out. But look, some of these people are in Texas and all over the world that want to come on. And I really want to keep open-minded for everybody. So I want to thank Randy for such a nice tribute to me, which it's very limited in this business. It's like I told you earlier, guys, in the first hour about how I was in radio for 20 years and never had to worry about my competition, because even though we were competition and we were going head to head for the listenership, we never derogatorily destroyed each other. Like, that's why I dislike, and I hate to tell you this, and I don't want nobody being mad, but that's why I dislike podcasts and all that kind of stuff, unless it's done by professional people. Because unless it's done by radio, if it's somebody doing it in their mom's basement or somebody doing it just to make some money, because I know how to record on my computer, they're not in our business. And they don't know that they're never going to get the same amount of downloads as people that's been in this business for years and people that's doing this. And that's what I'm saying. I have never had a clash in this business for 20 years. I may have not I may have had disagreements with people, but we never had a physical clash amongst each other. We never had a hate amongst each other. Just like, oh, that's so-and-so, he's hillbilly now. Oh, that's it, Ryan. He's forget him, old hippie boy. You know, it was like that. It was never, oh, I hate you. But in this day and time, people are taking it personal, and they're attacking all these podcasters, and they're attacking us and all of us professional radio people. And we're like, we're not used to that, because we got competitions we've never had. Do you think John Boy and Billy say derogatory things towards Rick and Bubba, towards Tim and Tim in the morning, or towards the beer guys, or Hot Wings? Was it Hot Wings, whatever that show is, whatever. I'm just bringing up morning shows. These guys and gals never like crossed over to destroy one another. and they probably can't figure out why people are doing it. Bob and Tom in the morning, they can't figure it out why people would do that. Because in radio, you didn't do that. You just were like, oh, I'm my own thing. Yeah, I got competition across town, but I'm my own thing. They're their own thing. But man, in 2024, I thought that people start getting along better. And but these pockets. So I'm never going to support somebody who's sitting in their mom's basement or in their basement recording every single night, spreading lies and gossip. Sorry. You know, when it comes to people like Alexander Jones, I'm sorry, he spreads gossip. And people like that, I don't care how many people want to like it. There's nothing but gossip being spread among that stuff. And when you spread gossip, lies, not conspiracy, lies and gossip, you destroy the sanctity of this business. I've been in this business for 20 years. This is why I dislike people calling the news networks. You know what I'm saying? They're just all opinion networks. And they can have their opinions. I don't care. But the problem is, don't take it for news as news. That's just my opinion. And I want to thank Randy for what he said about me. I mean, that gives me a great feeling that I'm being someone who is worldwide with his magazine online, and the people that he deals with giving me that kind of pat on the back. And I appreciate that, Randy. I really do. All right. Coming up this weekend, it's Royal Rumble weekend. What you gonna do if Hulk Hogan shows up? Oh, God. Oh, Hulk Hogan don't show up. I love him, but I hope he don't show up. Royal Rumble weekend already set this weekend. The men's Royal Rumble is getting kicked off tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Right before that, everything's going to be kicking off about that time, pre-show and everything. Men's Royal Rumble that match, 30-man match. In the match, members of Judgment Day, Drew McIntyre, your favorite, Gail, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Gunther. So many people already get in there. Bobby Lashley, all part of this Royal Rumble. I see CM Punk's going to win it. If I don't, it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Maybe even Gunther. But I'm calling CM Punk first as my guy. Women's Royal Rumble. Becky Lynch, Bayley, Nia Jax, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, and more. I'm calling Bayley on this one. Why? Right now, she's in this little thing that maybe she gets kicked out of her own group she started up. And she becomes a champion on Raw. As Raw is heading to Netflix next year in January. WWE United States Championship on the line. Champion Logan Paul. He's a YouTuber, boxer, and everything. He's a U.S. champion defending the title against Kevin Owens, the prize fighter. Get him, KO. Nothing against you, Logan. Nothing against you. But KO, I don't know if I want to be in the ring with KO. He's the man. Hopefully he becomes a United States champion. Fatal four-way for the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. The champion, Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman, defends against AJ Styles, L.A. Knight, and Randy Orton, the Viper. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow night. I'll talk about it on Monday. And the Monday after Raw is expecting to have CM Punk show up. Maybe he's going to win. So there you go. All right. Oh, by the way, Kevin Patrick, who's been doing the lead Raw announcer, the one of the top young men, has been released from the company in his position. A lot of people say that it's just not been going well. Maybe it's because as Americans, we're not educated enough to understand people from other countries. I don't know. But let me go ahead and drop this in here and drop this in there. He's an Irishman. He's got that accent. I've never had a problem with it. But the thing about it is, that's like in this business, everyone has to sound like they're from the Midwest in this business, radio business and everything. Why do you think I try to make my radio voice be higher and higher as radio voice and everything and not sound like I'm from the South Ball where I'm from? Because it's just, you have to sound a certain way to be in this business. Maybe Kevin Patrick should have just been put backstage doing some things. He's got a great mind for the business. So I don't know where he's going to go after that. So, all right, right now we're going to play the best of the Royal Rumble. The best moments of the Royal Rumble. That's the bottom line, called Stone Cold Said So. That's how we're going to end the show. Stay tuned. Coming up this morning in the final period of play, that's what we're doing. Coming up this morning, after we go off, you and I are going to enjoy a new episode of Wisdom Cafe with April Navoa, and then a brand new episode of, hold on, Lyrical Wisdom. Focus on the family at 11 a.m. and 11:30. Hope, Healing, and Inspiration with Trish, the Mobile Chaplain. 12 to 5 p.m. is Football Friday with the Rod Peterson Show, 12 to 2. The Sports Beat, Richard Holdridge, 2 to 3. And 3 to 5 is Braves Country Radio with Matt McGinn, Armchair Quarterbacks, bringing you Football Friday. You guys have a great day. Peace, love, respect. I'm out of here. Enjoy this Royal Rumble tribute and best of. Oh my goodness, yeah. You have a great rest of your day as well. Sonny, we thank you. We thank everybody for being with us. Anna Marie, thank you for being with us this morning too, all the way through the mess earlier. I apologize for being a little miffed. But I appreciate you staying with us. Andrew Planas, I thank you for being on the show as well. Guys, have a great weekend. WQEE in Atlanta, listen online. You can find us on stream sites everywhere, and you have a great weekend. Got a lot of great programming, sports, communities, events, and fun Hollywood stuff on the weekends. You have a great day. And I'm talking about Hollywood 360.